Bienvenidos! Hi, that probably came in so hot. I'm so sorry. I was feeling a Dora the Explorer moment this morning. I don't know, it just felt right. Hi everyone! How are you today? You can just yell at the screen, you don't need to type in chat. Hi, my name is Andrew Hochradel, as you can see right here. You can just call me Hawk, and I will be your host and guide and pilot to the skies for the next 2 weeks. We're about halfway through the first week of our challenges. It is so good to see you all here. We have Murray, we have Nadia, Robert, Susan, Joanna. It's a great one. I'm a little hoarse today. So let's go ahead and hop in and talk about what we're doing on these challenges. Today's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a little crazy, but if you are just joining us for the first time, or if you're finding us on YouTube, or if you are watching the creative replay, hello, this is the Daily Creative Challenge. It happens every single day here on behance.net/Adobe Live. If you want to get updated and join our challenges, you can go to behance.net/challenge/Illustrator and scroll down to find your source files. Today, dimensional type is happening. We'll be working with 3D as well as the blend tools. I'll show you 2 different ways to create really cool 3D looking effects in Illustrator. And by 3D looking, I mean like we're literally doing 3D. So it's going to be a great time. Let's go ahead and talk about where you can get involved. And we saw that at the bottom just a second ago, right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. That's where you can get involved. Forgot to do a vibe check. Let's get some music on. There we go. We're vibing now. So you can get connected over there, bit.ly/AI Discord. We're a little gray there. That's all right. And in that Discord, as you can see, people are posting their work. Yesterday, we worked on some travel tags using polygons, and there are some great examples, some really awesome polygons happening here. Love the colors, love the simplicity, love the type. And as you can see, we're just using a triangle and a circle. We're also using a hexagon here, and then we're probably using a rectangle and a circle down here as well. Love how you've paired the type on each of these. So fantastic job, Benin. If you are here, say hi in chat. We are appreciating you doing the work. So when you do the work, post in there. We'll give you some feedback. I might go live on my personal Behance for you to follow along, which will be really fun. All right, with that, let's go ahead and hop into our challenge, and it's going to be a fun one today. So strap in as we hop in to Hawk Airlines.
Hey everybody, it's your captain here. We'll be taking off to a comfortable 10,000 feet today. It's going to be high temperature because we'll be using our GPU to be doing a bunch of 3D in Illustrator. So go ahead and turn those fans on. If you could roll up the windows, it also would help us keep it cool in the cabin. So let's go ahead and jump into Adobe Illustrator to do some 3D effects.
All right, we're back and we're in the cockpit, and you can see I'm not in my uniform. One, because I poked a hole in my shirt putting the pin in yesterday, but 2, because I want to explain how we're going to be doing things today. So today we're going to be using augmenters, right? And when I talk about augmenters versus creators, there are certain tools in Illustrator that create things, right? They make things from nothing. But today we will not be doing that. We will be augmenting existing things. So when we're looking at our products, don't think about it as a high learning curve, something that we're going to be creating from scratch. It's going to be really crazy. What we're going to do is just add stuff on top of existing things. So think of it in layers that we can augment, that we can change. And that's why we're working with dimensional type, because we are just creating different stacks to create those dimensions. So let's say that we're staying here, right? This is our base type. And from there, we decide to add an effect. And that first effect, again, it is still me. I am still the base type, but we have an effect. We put that effect on, oh, this is not gonna fit on my head. There we go. We put that effect on our type, and look, the type looks a little bit different. We can change that, we can augment it, we can make it so it looks a little bit better, and by changing sliders, boom, we suddenly have a new look going on, right? We add on another layer, and now we're going somewhere, and then we change out one layer. We want to change a color, we want to change the type, and boom. Now we have an entirely new look of the same me, right? So think of me as type and think of these as effects that are going on that type. That's how we're going to be thinking about it today. We're just stacking. It's going to be very, very daunting, but we are just stacking. So just think about like that. All right, let's go ahead and hop in and see some 3D. All right. Oh my goodness. What is this? It's our source file. If you download a source file, it might look a little bit different because I'm not afraid of the shameless plug. This is where you can get connected with me. Follow along social media, wherever you want, here on Behance, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to be. That is the place to be. All right. Let's go ahead. Did our music stop? Oh no, it's changing songs. All right, sorry. Let's go ahead and hop in, and I'm just going to type in the word. Let's work with the word Adobe. Why not? And with the word Adobe, what we can do is we're just going to blow this up here. And what we're going to do is we're not using hotkeys today that much, so they're not turned on. I'll explain them as we go. But we are going to start with some 3D effects. And those 3D effects are going to be pretty crazy, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a really awesome 3D effect. Now, I like this blue, but I'm feeling more of a fun kind of neon vibe today. So we're going to go with this orange, right? Nice and bright. I can see through my sunglasses. And we're going to come up here to Effect and then 3D and Materials. Now, there are some new features. This is an entirely new interface, but there are some new features that we will be using. A little disclaimer today. We will be pushing our CPU to the max with some of these effects. So if it starts to stutter, if the video cuts out for a second, it is because of that. I am not away. We're going to experience some turbulence today. So buckle your seatbelts, stick with me. And if we have some turbulence, just drop some emojis in chat and we can all be entertained by that. All right. So with that, we're going to go to Effect, 3D and Materials, and then click on Extrude and Bevel. There are some other options here. Doesn't matter. We're just doing Extrude and Bevel for now. Boom, we're done. Challenge completed. All we needed to do is click on Extrude and Bevel. No. So this is what is happening. Extrude and Bevel. Extrude means that it's taking the flat letters, right? The flat Andrew, right? And we are adding some effects. So the flat Andrew is now turned to the side with a little bit of light, right? So it's the same type that we have. If we want to change this, we can actually come back in and still change this. So maybe we want to say hello. It is live text, and we can come in and change that live text. So with that, we are just adding effects. So I'm going to go back and change it back to Adobe. There we go. Now we can select this and you'll see that we have all kinds of options here. The depth is going to show us how far back we want to pull those letters. So increasing the depth is going to give us a bit more kind of chunk on those. So that looks pretty good. And let's go ahead, you know what? Let's add a second line here so we can stack it. Let's just do, let's do Express because Express is a fun new program here. And we're just going to change the type to be a little bit smaller so that we can line it up so it looks like it is pretty much the same. And then I'm going to change the height right there. You know what? Let's do it so that it kind of stacks really good right there. There we go. All right, so we've got it stacked and we have our type. And again, this is live type, looking good. Now, what we can do is we can augment all kinds of things. And the first thing that I want to do is add a bevel. And the bevel is going to give us a little bit of an edge. You can see that it's a little crisp on that edge, and we want to give it a little bit of extra fun. So we're going to bevel that. That looks a little bit crazy, but I want it to be maybe round so it looks bubbly. There we go. That's looking good. So it's a little bit bubbly. And we can change some of these sliders to change the width. We can change the height. The height is how much bubble we have. So let's go ahead and change those. Whoa, that's way too bubbly. Let's bring those down so it's very subtle. It gives us that nice soft look. Now we can also scroll down and change the dimension. So right now we have it at an off-axis left, I believe. So what we can do is we can change these to be the front. It's going to make it flat. That's not going to do anything for us. Or you can play isometric top, which means it looks like it's coming off the ground. Isometric right, isometric left. It is going to keep it at that perfect angle. Now I just want it off axis. There we go. Front is going to pull it just a little bit bubbly. Sorry, I read the chat at the same time. A little bit off kilter to give us some interesting effects. Now, here's where it's going to get crazy. Everybody hold on. what we're going to do is we're going to go to lighting. Now, this is a new interface, and the lighting right now is standard coming from the top right downwards to the left. What we can do is we are going to click on diffuse, and this is just going to make it so that the light kind of exists. We don't want that. I don't think it's looking where I want it to be. Top left is going to put it on the left so that we have a little bit of too much light. So I actually liked the standard. And what we can do is increase the intensity or bring it down to give us some good depth. Now I do like the intensity down a little bit, gives us some good depth. And the rotation is going to be where the light is around these letters. So as we pull this rotation, I'll do it in little ways. You can see, actually, let's do... That's not going to rotate it. All right, so I'm just going to click through. You can see that it's actually changing where that light is hitting. And it's a really cool live preview. If you kind of just drag this subtly, you can see that it is zooming around those letters. So I want to capture some of the inside of the letters. And so let's actually bring it maybe right there. That's looking good. So it's giving, it's a little bit of downlight. Let's do some uplight. There we go, from the side. So that's looking good. We can play that around. And then the height is how high that is. So it's very far away from the letters if you do the height high, or if you bring it low, it's going to get a little bit closer to those letters. The softness is going to dictate the shadows, but we're not going to play around with that right now. We can just change it to 75. The intensity is how hard that light's going to hit. Right now, let's keep it low just for fun. All right, so this is where it gets crazy, is we can now turn on shadows. And this is a technology preview, so still being worked on. And we're going to get the shadows on right here. And you can see that that got really crazy. And that's because we weren't paying attention to some of the settings that we had on the lighting. Now, we can change this to show where the shadows go a little bit better. The shadow bounds, we probably want to be pretty high, and that's going to allow us for those shadows to really go. And the distance from the object, we do want it 0. You can make it float if you pull them away a little bit. Well, we'll keep it at 0 for now. So the things that are changing where the shadows are going right now are the rotation and the height. So if we change the rotation, you can see that those shadows are going to be going in every direction. Now I do want it kind of at this angle. And the other thing that's happening is the height. So the height is showing how far those shadows go. If you think about it, putting the height low is going to put that light very close to the ground and cast a very long shadow. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is bring that up so that the height is not too far, and it will give us just that nice kind of soft shadow. Now, we can also change the shadow bounds, which is how much shadow that we're going to get. We don't want to play with that right now. And we also can do below object, which is going to give it so that it looks like it is floating and the light will come from the top down. That's fun for some ways of working with type. We're not going to use it today. So we're going to do below object, behind object, and that will give us a nice directional shadow. So this is looking good. All right, do we want to get crazy? This is looking good. Let's get totally crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the word express here. And you can see that, yes, it is indeed still live type. I'm going to delete the word express so we have less to work with. And now we just have the word Adobe. Still looking good here. And if we wanted to, we could freeform transform. So if you want to rotate around the Y, we click and drag on this point right here and just drag to the right. And you can see that it's dragging around the vertical position. If we want it to go up and down, we can drag it around the horizontal position and get a nice little kind of up and down. I don't want either of those, but you can. You also can click in the center and just rotate freeform to show kind of where you want it to go. All right. Yes, we have already gotten crazy. We're about to get more crazy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a high quality render preview. So this is just previewing right now. You can go up to render settings up here on the corner and click on ray tracing. And this is where the new features and the new way of kind of rendering 3D really shine. I'm going to turn the quality all the way up to high and reduce the noise, and we're going to hit render. This is where I might lose you or we might freeze. Let's go ahead and hit render, and this is going to give us the highest quality that we can see. Let's go ahead and do it. I didn't freeze. I just felt like it was a moment to freeze. All right, this is where we may experience some turbulence. Buckle your seatbelts. Make sure you are seated. Tray tables in their full and upright position. We are rendering. We are thinking. I can hear my computer screaming because this is giving us a high fidelity preview of what it will look like. Look at that. Look at how smooth this is. So look at how smooth those shadows got. Look at how smooth these letters got. And let's zoom out here. And it looks like it is actually coming out of that wall. The texture that we have in the back, it has given us the highest quality that you could possibly want on this. Now, that's great. I'm turning that off because we cannot handle that with where we're about to go, right? We have reached our cruising altitude, but guess what? You didn't know it, but this is an intergalactic flight and we are breaking the atmosphere and going to space today. All right, so let's go ahead and fly to space real quick. Let's select our 3D art. And right now it's just a color. We can change that color. Wow, great, so fun. Who cares? Because what we're going to do today is we are going to take you into materials. This is getting it really crazy. And what it's doing is it's going to be mapping 3D materials to your 3D objects. Watch this. Magic. Let's go ahead and click on materials and then we can scroll down and you'll see that we have Adobe Substance Materials included. So let's say that we want sand step dunes. We can click on this and watch what happens with our 3D text selected. Look at that. We have created some 3D dunes. We have texture. You can see the shadows kind of hitting the edges here. And I'm actually going to outline this type just to make it easier for us. But you can see the texture hitting the edges here and giving us that awesome 3D effect. Now we can select this and come down into the properties to increase the resolution. Maybe we want a little higher quality. We can change the roughness of the sand. So maybe we want some really rough sand. We can increase that. Maybe we want more pebbles. We can increase the pebble density. And maybe we want the roughness up. Ooh, let's do a lot more waves. We can go ahead and increase that and you'll see that it's increasing the amount of waves. These are incredible and amazing. We can do some rotation. Maybe we want them going that way. Ooh, that's looking good. Ooh, give it some zazz. So that is looking very, very good. And now we've created a Substance 3D look with our type. It does look like we lost some of our bevel, so I can go back to object and it's going to allow us to augment the actual 3D letters. And right now we have classic on. I did want this to be round. So we're gonna click on round, it's gonna think about it, and maybe we want it to have a little more oomph. There we go. So you can see it's actually pulling the front out there and the height. Maybe we want it to be a little more rounded to get a little more bubbly. So you can play around with those after you have the substance on there. And look at that. We have a 3D object. All right. Wade is asking us to render it, and we are going to render it. It may completely break the stream. Here we go. Let's go ahead and render our sand and see what it looks like with the rendering. All right. Good luck, everybody. Buckle your seatbelts because here we go. We're turning on ray tracing, we're turning on high, and we are going to render. Good luck, everyone. While we do this, let's go ahead and talk about some things that are coming up here on the daily creative challenges. We do have more challenges happening every single day for you. We will be back tomorrow, Friday, as well as all next week, continuing our theme. And one more thing that I do want to talk to you about, and that is a special show starting on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time called Adobe Office Hours. It is a show that will help you level up your skills. And through this whole year, we're taking you from novice to no fear in 1 year with our creative basics. So we'll be doing a whole year to help you achieve your best creative career. All right, y'all aren't ready for this. I'm just gonna full screen preview mode because here we go. The final render. Look at, look at this. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous render. You can see all those little ridges, all the effects, the bubbliness, the shadows. It is so good. This was not available, or like you couldn't do this in the past in Adobe Illustrator, but now you can, and it's amazing. So you can turn on those renders. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so that we don't kill our computer right now. You can see the difference in the render there. And that is working with 3D here in Illustrator. Now, I do want to show you one more thing real quick. And if you want to create a 3D kind of hand-lettered brush look, it's easier to not use the 3D effects. It's easier to use something called a blend. We're going to do this real quick. What we're going to do is just create 2 circles. And with that, we are going to create one in a green color and one in a blue color, right? We're going to use these 2 colors. And what we're going to do is create a blend between the 2. So we're going to select both of those objects and go to Object, Blend, and Make. Now it's going to blend those together. Look at that. So it's created a blend between those. Illustrator's figured out the middle steps. And we want this to go onto lettering. So we're going to grab our brush tool by just hitting B or coming over here to the brush tool. And I'm going to just say, let's do Adobe. Why not? So I'm going to grab our paintbrush tool and I'm going to click. That's going to create a point. We don't want to do that. I'm going to hit enter, sorry. And then on here, I want to make sure that smoothing is all the way up. So turn the smoothing all the way up. I'm going to hit OK. And we're gonna go ahead and just use our mouse. If you have a pen and pad, it's probably easier. But I'm just going to go ahead and map out Adobe. This is going to look very bad right now. But stick with me. There we go. It's going to smooth it out for us a little bit. Let's just do a letter. So let's go ahead and do a big letter A. All right, that's bad. Let's go ahead and do a swash on a J. That's looking better. All right, so we can select this and select our blend. And the cool thing that we're about to do is to go to Object, Blend, and replace spine. What it's going to do is it's going to take our blend and apply it to that line that we've created with the brush tool. Look at that. So now we've created this awesome object that looks 3D. It is dimensional. It is overlapping with itself, and it is using that blend to replace to the spine. Now, if we want to, we can change which side is dimensional on which side by going to the direct selection tool here, clicking on this circle, and then just going to arrange and bring to front. Look at that. And then it switches so that the end is now in the front. And yes, we have created a gummy worm. So this is a great way to create some fun dimensional type by just creating that blend. Now you can create a whole bunch of different blends however you want and just use that brush tool to maybe create something that overlaps quite a bit. So let's do something like, I keep doing weird things. Let's do something like that maybe. Again, we're just going to select these 2, go to Object, we're going to go to Blend, and we are going to go to Replace Spine. That's looking pretty cool. That's looking pretty cool. Now, something else that we could do if we really wanted to is you could use this on type. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could use it on type. If we type out, let's see, Adobe, this is going to look crazy, but what we're going to do is we're going to outline this by going to Object and Expand. And from here, we are going to change it to just a stroke. Now, this is going to be crazy, but we are going to select these and go to Object. And let's go to Blend. And we need one letter. So let's go ahead and grab this one letter. Stop that, please. There we go. One letter, Object, Blend. This is going to be so crazy. Oh, they're all compound paths. All right. So don't do it on lettering. Don't do it on type. It's not worth it. Just use your brush, and that's how you can create a spine and create some cool lettering if you wanted something that's a little more cursive. But what I really want you to do here is play around with these 3D effects. Also, if you want to, you can hop over here to substance3d.adobe.com and click on free assets, and you can actually download new textures, new materials. So we're going to download the lava because that looks pretty cool. And all we need to do is come in here, open our 3D panel. Oops. Where did our 3D panel go? Not in libraries. Effects, 3D and materials. There we go. And we are going to go to materials, and we just hit this plus button and then click on the one that we just downloaded right here, and that is lava. It will show up in our downloads right here, and we can click and it will replace that sand with lava. And now we have awesome lava type in that 3D. So super easy to import those, play around and see what you can create and get very, very crazy. Today is the day to experiment and try everything. See if you can make your computer explode because it would be really fun. So Once you're done with that, export it and drop your work here into Adobe Illustrator. When you want to export, you simply go to File, you can go to Export and Export As and save that as a JPEG or a PNG, or you can just take a screenshot and drop it into Discord. So have fun, play around with 3D, make some dimensional type, and get crazy today, guys. That's what these challenges are for, to have fun and learn something new. And yes, I love Lava 2. I have to confess, I spent so long looking for a material that was cheese, but there weren't any that were free that were cheese. So if anyone wants to make a cheese material, I'll feature you here on the stream. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow with another stream here at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time every day on Adobe Live. I'll kick you guys back out into the cockpit for a little while, and I'll see you. Thanks for flying Hawk Airlines.
It was our pleasure to fly you today. Please fly again and enjoy your destination. Sorry about that turbulence. We're going to go ahead and work on that for our next flight tomorrow.